Dogecoin looks like it might be breaking out right now. I was watching this uptrend right here. We had support, 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 support. We got some resistance in this area and we started to come down. We got support in here, came up, found some resistance, and then came down, got support. Basically, we're in this little triangle pattern. And when we have a little run up and we start going sideways, I like to look at the top and I like to look at the bottom. We also, okay, so we could look at the top of this wick right here, which we've already broken. We're not above it right now, but we did break it. We did wick above it right now. So I do think that's a good sign. And then also if we go to the downside, we didn't even, I mean, basically we're testing the top right now. I think the target that I'd be looking at, or the pattern that I'm looking at, is a bull flag. So we had a nice run up like this, flag pull, and then we had consolidation in here, what we'd want to do is drag from the top to the bottom of this flag pull, something like that. I'm just looking at this area right here. Then we drag from the top, or we drag that to the breakout, and we're looking at a target of approximately 0.178 for just this pattern. So this is the 1 hour time frame. The other thing that I was looking at is if we go to the 4 hour time frame, let's jump up a little bit. I was also looking at this resistance, and this resistance, and we'll go ahead and draw that trend line. So we have this top right there, and then we also had a bottom, something like this, where we had support, support, support. I don't think we touched that last one on the trend line, but let's go ahead and draw that trend line out. Something like that. We kind of did, but we didn't touch it. So basically we're in this triangle pattern, and we broke out of this triangle pattern, should I say, right here. So what we could do is drag from the top to the bottom of this triangle pattern, drag this to the breakout, and we're looking at a target. Actually, that target lines up right with that other one, sitting at around 0.17780. The other thing that I've been looking at for a long time, if we could get to these targets, then the other thing that I'd be looking at, we're on the 4 hour time frame right now. Let's go to the daily time frame. I've been looking at this resistance right here, sitting at around 0.16197, 0.16259. Let's go ahead. So we have resistance, resistance, resistance. Let's go ahead and draw that straight trend line. And I've been talking about this for probably a couple weeks at this point. So we have this on the daily time frame. Check it out, how it looks like on the daily time frame. We hadn't closed the daily candles above this trend line right here in all this time right here. So, and this goes back all the way to April 13th right here. So basically we closed that candle above it. Now we're getting another green candle. This is exactly what I kind of would like to see, breaking out of this pattern. The other thing that we did is, if we go back to the 4 hour time frame, what you notice is on this trend line, we came down, we tested it, and then we got a bounce. And I was talking about that in the one over here when we came down right here, where we got this inverse head and shoulders, basically the same pattern. I don't think I mentioned that right here. We're looking at an inverse head and shoulders right now. But what I was going to say is we had this inverse head and shoulders right here. And what I was saying in this video is what I wanted it to do is I was waiting for it to come up, test it, and then get a bounce to the upside. We actually broke through it, and then that's what kind of got me a little nervous, is we broke through it, we came up back above it, and then broke through it again. So I thought it was showing signs of weakness. But yeah, so basically what we did here is what I wanted to do over here. Instead of going through it and coming out of at least for now, we got a little bounce on it. We held support, and it looks like we're getting bounced to the upside right now. Let's go back to that daily time frame. So yeah, what I'm thinking is for this target, we have an inverse head and shoulders. So let's go ahead and go back to that. We have inverse head and shoulders, and it took a while. I don't really love the way it developed here. Usually it's a little more quicker, but I mean, actually, I don't have a lot of experience with these patterns with this head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders patterns in general. So I mean, I don't see them all the time compared to like the falling wedges or the bear flags or the channel patterns. So I guess, I mean, I don't know, maybe this is normal for it to kind of like play around like that, instead of just kind of doing kind of something where it was here, where it's just like a nice steadily going up and down like that. But over here we started doing this kind of thing. But anyways, we have this resistance sign right there, and we're breaking that resistance that's the main point. We had resistance, 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 big resistance right here. And I still think we do. I've been talking about this for a while. We have this 17-cent level. If we could break out of this little area right here, then I think we can start hitting up 202 or maybe .220, maybe 229, or maybe even shoot higher than that. I'm not sure. I mean, first things first is, I guess, these targets, and then let's go ahead and drag from the top to the bottom of this pattern. There's a couple ways we could do this. We could use the bodies and be conservative about it, something like that, sitting at around .19492, and then we could use the wick from there to there and still use the bodies as the resistance, something like that. And if we did, and this would be, what is this? Sorry. This target would be around .204, 228. If we use from wick to wick, from this wick to this wick, I think that puts us at around .202 or something like that. I kind of like the bodies, but let's see. And then this would also go up too because of the wicks, I would say, if you want to be like liberal about the target. This would go up to .241. Like I've been saying though, if we break out of this, resistance, I'd probably in general be targeting these resistance. These kind of help me get to these areas though. I mean, these targets kind of help me align with these areas. So yeah, I just think breaking this resistance is good. Like I said, closing that candle above it, we haven't done that this whole time. We've just gotten wicks to the upside and it just comes back down and gets rejected. You know what I mean? So maybe this resistance will start turning into support. We've already seen it once on that 4-hour time frame. If we go to the 4-hour, maybe on the hour time frame, it might see it better. Let's go ahead and delete that green line. But yeah, we came down, got a bounce on it so far, and it looks like we're breaking out. The other thing I wanted to show you about that, the flag pattern, let's go ahead and delete some of this other stuff right here. The other thing I wanted to show you about that flag pattern is this is the volume. We had declining volume, and it looks like we're getting a nice green candle. This is kind of what I talk about when I say I want to see a nice volume candle come in. This isn't, honestly, usually it's more like declining, like steadily declining. It feels like this was like a big old pop of volume and then red volume and then no volume and then a pop. But usually it's more like steady, like right here, except in reverse. I guess right here, I guess too. See how this one was declining and then we got some nice green candles coming in? Or sometimes it does it like this though, like where you can see this was the average, boom, it's clearly bigger, and there's a lot of volume starting at the pattern. So the pattern starting right here, and this is another way you could kind of judge where to like target, because the pattern kind of starts with this candle where it kind of started coming in somewhere right here, this candle, boom, and then yeah, so then we got the declining volume as it goes up, and then and then it consolidates. So we got that big volume pushing us up, and then we had all this kind of, declining volume over here, consolidation, and then resistance. We broke that resistance going to the upside. Then the green candles started coming in, and then so that would be pretty much a breakout. I mean, that's what you would like. I would consider this a breakout right here, the nice green candle. Let's see if it's just a red candle behind it and it just crashes, but I think this is looking pretty good, like I was saying. But this is a big resistance area, so let's see what happens. I like the way it's looking on that daily time frame, like I was saying. The other thing I noticed was we're still in this Fibonacci retracement. We have the bottom to the top of this. We haven't broke that top yet, so let's go ahead and draw that Fibonacci retracement. Something like this. I noticed someone said in the comments Fibonacci retracement over here, and yeah, you could do that if you think this was the top and we didn't break that top. Then I would say you could do it in another little time frame like this, boom, something like that, and then maybe 50% go hit that, boom. But it looks like we're actually breaking out of this Fibonacci box right here. I mean, you could argue, if you think that's the top, you could keep on kind of following it. But yeah, like I was saying, we also had this other Fibonacci box that we're still in, and we haven't broke the top quite yet. So let's see if we could break. Let's actually draw a trend line on here, something like that. We need to break this trend line too, and we could use, it's basically the wicks, the wick right here, the wick right here, and there was a little wick that didn't come all the way up, but it is pretty much at that level. So let's see, that's sitting at around .17039, like I said, 17 cents. Oh yeah, let's see. It looks, I think it looks pretty decent though, especially like on that I like the way that bull flag looked. Let's see if we can continue this momentum going to the upside. I like how that momentum or that volume came in, and yeah, we'll see. Looking pretty decent for Dogecoin and in crypto in general. It looks like Bitcoin's actually kind of testing the top two. Let's go check that out real quick. And that's another thing I was looking at, like a little flag pattern on Bitcoin too. It looked like we had a nice little run up, flag or consolidation, and it looks like we're breaking that going to the upside right here. I think I was being conservative about this target because I was looking at just this little area here, but you could argue something like this too, maybe. I don't know. The smaller one was at .73713, and then this bigger one would be at something like I'm sorry, Dogecoin mode 75612. I was also playing around with the Fibonacci retracements. If we go to the daily time frame, let's hopefully this is, if you guys like Bitcoin, but it kind of pertains to this too. I mean, since if we're going to be breaking all-time highs on Bitcoin, I think the altcoins will follow after. So let's see. What I was trying to do, let's go ahead and just delete everything real quick. I was playing around with the Fibonacci retracement in reverse. So if we go, we drag from the bottom to the top. No, that's the right way. That's the other way we do it. We drag from the top to the bottom, then it does it in reverse. We drag this out, something like this. And I was checking out some of these levels going to the upside. I probably need to do some more research on using it like this, but I have a feeling that if we could break out of here, then maybe this could be the next level that could be a target, which would be 109.831. Like I said, I have to do some more research on this, on the way to the way to use this a Fibonacci retracement or the Fibonacci tool in this way. But there are levels that it gives you in this, doing it reverse like that. So maybe, maybe this could be the next target. But in general, it does look like it's testing that top too, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Is it looks like it's doing, Bitcoin is on a nice little run right here. We're on an uptrend, something like this. Let's see if we could break out of that top and start heading to maybe something like a level like 110,000, somewhere around there. But yeah, I think okay, so basically what I want to show you about Bitcoin is if Bitcoin's moving up, then Dogecoin has a good chance to move up too. And let's go to the hourly time frame. I think we're getting some, it looks like here's that other chart that I've been looking at, and those are the two red lines that I've been talking about for a while, and it looks like we're kind of pushing through them right now. Hopefully we could keep this momentum going, continue to go higher. Look at that nice green candle coming out of that bull flag. Let's see if we can keep this momentum going. Let me know what you guys think though. If you guys like the video, hit that thumbs up. If you want to watch the last video, check it out right here, and I'll see you in the next one.